Sac State,
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what? Everybody, listen up. Welcome to the drive.
Where did you go to college?
You're gonna talk.
I
Get on
went
the
to
phone
college.
at 339-1140.
She went to like school for her job.
44-1140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The drive starts now.
Oh, it's Florida State. I'm kind of stuck. Mom and Dad went to Florida State. What am I going to do? I've argued this before. I'm actually, I think, a bigger Florida State fan than had I gone to another college. I didn't go to Florida State, obviously, but had I gone to...
Would you have been one of those? Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
Because I went to Sac State
Yes.
with a guy who was a diehard, dyed-in-the-wool Cal fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, parents had season tickets.
Yeah.
He would show up to Sac State, and like we worked at the athletic department. He would go into the athletic department like decked out in Cal gear.
I wouldn't have been that guy.
Like if you, let's say you had gone to, I don't want to pick a like Sac State where sports don't matter, but
Say Cal, then. Or
okay, yeah. If you had gone to Cal,
Yeah.
and when I say sports don't matter at Sac State, I mean like to the student body.
They don't-
I love the Sac State athletic
On a
department.
national scale, it's very difficult for Sac State and UC Davis to compete, and they still manage to, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay, I just didn't want to.
Yeah, you're not throwing shade at your alma mater.
So if you had gone to Cal,
Uh-huh.
would you have been just a big time Cal guy, or would you have like been a Florida State fan where if Cal and Florida State played in the NCAA tournament, you would have rooted for Florida State?
You know, it's one of those questions where I think I'd have to be in the situation to answer because
Okay, that's fair.
my gut
That's totally
says
fair.
I've always been very loyal. It's almost the same question I've asked before, where if the Oakland Athletics moved to Sacramento, me being a lifelong Giants fan, what would I do? And the answer is I don't know. Instinctively, I would say I've been a Giants fan since day one. There's no way. You don't switch teams.
I think it's different at that level.
But I also root for everything Sacramento first. Sacramento number one,
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento versus the world type of thing. If I went to Cal, I could never not be a Florida State fan because that's how I was born and raised. But I don't know. It might be one of those where I root for Cal every single time unless they play Florida State. Like I spent a lot of time out at the University of Kentucky over the last few years, and I've found a little special place in my heart for the people out there and for their
BBN,
sports.
yeah.
Yes, Big Blue Nation. But I would never root for Kentucky versus FSU. But if Kentucky's, if it's between Kentucky and pretty much any other team in the NCAA tournament this year, I'll root for Kentucky.
Sure.
Just because you have a connection.
Right. If you cast the net wider of your favorite teams, it's more of a chance that
shut
you
up.
win.
Speaking of people trying to bait me,
I don't have a favorite college basketball team, so.
Matt George is trying to bait me with this article. I know that's not what he's trying to do, but I wrote a big article for KH2K.com today. You can go check it out. You can link it on the KH2K Twitter, Sports 1140 KH2K.
Did Matt write something?
Matt wrote something.
Oh, he's good at that.
He is good at that. Very talented. He's very good at editing, too. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of the videos we put out. In fact, I think The Lowdown had a so brilliant that while watching it, I was actually a little angry we didn't think of this. Intro to their live feed on Friday.
Really fantastic.
Really good.
The theme of The Office. And it was a very, if you saw the open to The Office with the music and all that, it was very, very, very well done. I believe Matt edited.
He did.
It. Yeah. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
With this is what the article is about here. With their 34th win of the season last night, the Sacramento Kings have officially won more games than they ever did with DeMarcus Cousins. Is this the final closure fans needed to the DMC era in Sacktown? I mean, there's no lie there.
I'm happier than I was. I'm happier now than I ever was with my ex.
Okay.
All right.
That's how that reads to me.
I got you.
But you in real life are happier now than you ever were with your ex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure that's a thing.
I'm happy I'm not around any exes, that's for sure. Anyways, go read the article. Maybe we'll talk about it later. I mean, I'm not getting into it.
No.
I mean, they are.
But
Congratulations.
they are.
It was great to see Dave Yeager.
There's also a much better team than they ever had.
Much
talent-wise.
better team than they ever had talent-wise.
Few better draft picks too, maybe.
Few better
Vastly.
draft picks. better coach.
No Yorgos Papagiannis's in this group.
Better point guard.
Better everything. Can we just say they have better everything right now than when they had DeMarcus Cousins? Because they do.
I mean,
Point.
I think I'm gonna write a counter article. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna make the best team DeMarcus ever had around him.
Oh, like the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Because he had like the Rondo, Rudy Gay. I mean, I feel like that.
Are we counting Rajon Rondo?
I know. Well, that's kind of where we're at. Like, you want to go. You want to have.
Okay. Is the best team?
That's where everybody gets pissed.
Hang on. No, this is gonna become Lakers smack. Hang on. Let me get there. Could the 2018-19 Lakers beat the best players that DeMarcus Cousins ever played with in a 7-game series?
So a team, but it doesn't have DeMarcus on it? But like the best. Are you saying if you put together an all-star team consisting
of
only
the Kings from like 2009 to 2017?
Right, but DeMarcus doesn't exist on that team, or he does?
Let's say he does.
If he does,
could this year's Lakers? Because I think Rondo's on both teams.
If he does, I know. You're saying no, the Lakers wouldn't beat them?
The Lakers wouldn't, because you got to remember, Kings, that team still has like good Isaiah Thomas as their point guard and has good Rudy Gay at small forward. Like that threesome alone could beat this Lakers team.
I think you have to take you couldn't get MVP candidate IT. Like, you would have to just get his peak Kings season,
which was still really good. Okay. He was really good with the Kings.
Okay. That's fair.
And Matt George just all caps texted me, and I want to be fair to him. He said, well, let me say what I can say.
Is he listening?
Here.
Shouldn't he be working?
He said,
wow.
Read the article. I compliment the hell out of DeMarcus Cousins.
What? No, hang on. I have an issue with that. I have a fundamental issue with the idea of reading the article.
Just have hot takes, but not read it.
Read the headline and react is how things go these days.
He says Cousins ultimately failed in his time with the Kings, who share equal blame in that failure. So that's good. He probably will never be a Sacramento King again, although it's possible. And that's honestly a good thing. I mean, it's one of those like Kyle, you're a good-looking guy, but you're not the worst-looking guy ever. Jay, you do the best job of anyone available that wanted to do this job. You know what I'm saying? It's like those, okay.
Those backhanded compliments.
Right? Speaking of your...
No, he was great, but...
We should have a fun time. That could be a great article. The point guards and draft picks of DeMarcus Cousins. Like all the point guards that he had throughout his entire tenure, and then all the draft picks that went with it.
Could all of those players beat the Lakers?
No.
Speaking of your Lakers, Kyle, I saw something that
love my Lake show.
Warmed my heart today. NBA TV had the worst winning percentages of the last 6 seasons. The Phoenix Suns are 5th. The Sixers are 4th.
And that's the Phoenix Suns are 5th.
They're the 5th. They have the 5th worst winning percentage over the last 6 seasons.
So we're going highest winning percentage to lowest.
Okay. The 4th worst winning percentage in the NBA over the last 6 years, the Philadelphia 76ers.
That is remarkable.
Isn't it? And that's,
they made the playoffs last year and are going to again this year.
That's how bad they were. The Orlando Magic are 3rd worst, 332. Tied with, at 2nd, the New York Knicks at 332.
No way.
And the worst winning percentage in the NBA over the last 6 years, that's right, the Los Angeles Lakers at 328.
Keeping in mind that prior to this stretch of 6 years, they'd missed the playoffs 5 times total in their existence.
Ever.
And now they're the worst team in the league over the last 6 years. One of those years included LeBron.
But we got 16 rings, bro. How many rings your team got?
Me.
We got 16 rings. Lake show, baby. Kobe.
There's a Laker fan in here.
Is that what that
How'd
smell
that guy
is?
get in the building?
Kobe beat the Kings in 02. What do you guys say? Where's your rings, bro?
Hey, someone get this guy out of here.
Staples, bro.
Staples. Wow. Staples smash. Oh.
Stupid Arco Arena. We got Staples, bro.
What if he's like, hey, we have paper clips too, man.
Right? Yeah, we have
Office supplies.
Chick Hearn statue, bro. Where's your announcer statue at?
Hey, we'll have one. Okay?
Too far.
Thank you. Jeez. Just leave Chick out of this. Chick is universal. The late, great Chick Hearn.
He dug the long ball.
He did. That's what they meant when they said Chicks dig the long ball. I got you, Kyle.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's got to be good to be a Laker fan right now. My goodness gracious. The worst winning percentage.
You know what annoys me the most about it?
Nothing?
No,
What annoys you?
no. What is the fact that I have a couple buddies who are Laker fans who are like, this team sucks, Magic sucks, get everybody out of here. I hate them.
Ugh.
But I think there's still just this like segment of Laker fans like, it's fine. This is all on purpose. We're doing this on purpose. Like, no, you're not. You thought you were going to be a playoff team this year.
Tanking for Zion, bro. Yeah. Zion's coming to the Lakers.
Dude, and he probably will, is what's so sad.
If that happens, if they win the lottery, I will fully buy into the rigged thing. Because right now I'm like, no, it's not. Get out of here. If the Lakers win the lottery, I will fully buy in.
Well, that would give them what? A number 2 pick 2 years ago with Ball, number 1 pick next year. Where did they pick? Who did they pick last year? I know they picked Mo Wagner, but that was late in the first. Did they not have a first-round pick last year, I don't think?
Yeah, they had to cede that to Philly, right?
That's right.
That's it.
By the way, not a coincidence. Last thought on this. You know what also happened 6 years ago? And we said the Lakers have the worst winning percentage in the NBA over the last 6 seasons. Do you know what else happened 6 years ago last month? Very significant. Dr. Jerry Buss passed away. 6 years ago, Dr. Jerry Buss passed away. Now, I'm here to say, as much as I hate the Lakers, as much as I revel in their misery, dumb, stinking bandwagon fans crying on the internet, Dr. Jerry Buss was a hell of an owner. And I'm here to tell you, if he were still alive today, this ain't happening.
Yep.
You got to figure out how to put that team. Well, you know what? Actually, let's take a break. They don't have to figure out anything. Keep everything the same.
Yep.
Jeannie's doing a bang-up job.
Time to head to Togo's for their original turkey and avocado with a large drink for just $5.95.
We'll take a break. Oh, by the way, Donald Penn left and a bunch of other NFL stuff we were supposed to do there, but we got caught up in Lakers.
16 rings!
When we get back, Threefer Madness, bracket-centric, everyone.
Also going to announce the time that we're giving away our church tickets.
Ooh! Is it weird? We gave away Hozier tickets last week, and now we're going to help take you to church with this new giveaway? Wow.
Really strong.
Not even clapping
really
for me.
Strong.
Clapping for promotions.
Yeah, no, that's really strong.
When we get back, Threefer Madness and the Eric Church ticket announcement next. The Drive, Cage to Cage.
Welcome back to The Drive. Time for Threefer Madness.
The right wing fires up a three. Count it on a foul! Lets the three-point shot fly. Oh, he's done it again!
Threefer Madness.
Oh, he's done it again!
Time for Threefer Madness. 3 questions, 3 answers.
Hey, Kyle, for real. Did you or anybody that you know turn off the TVs in here? Both TVs are off since I left and came back like 5 minutes later. Okay. Threefer Madness. Brought to you by Fire Wings. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it. I think last week I was watching one of the highlights Jay put out from The Drive on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and subscribe to our KHTK page, our KHTK channel. And so I think it was me or you. Somebody said something about having a framed picture of Hozier. One of those lines.
Yeah, that was in Derek Carr's house, according to you.
That's right, Derek Carr's house. It made me think, as we're constantly evolving the set, I think it'd actually be kind of cool for us to have a framed picture of Hozier. Just randomly there. Just right here in camera. For no reason.
Hey, let's not get a full, like, blown up, like, 20 by 24 or whatever. And instead get, like, a 8 by 10. And just kind of hang it in the corner. So people watching are like, okay, yeah, there's a Marvin Bagley jersey. That's cool. The Sac Republic scarf, the 11 4. Is that Hosier?
I don't think anybody would know. I think we could take a frame photo of Hosier throughout this place, and 50% of KHTK would think it was Chad Kroger of Nickelback.
That's you know what? That's good content. We're gonna do that.
Just who is this person?
Yes.
See if
and just go walk around sales and
let's have a prize basket of candy and stuff to give to the
oh my
first
gosh.
person.
Okay, tomorrow
that
we'll
can
do
pick
this.
Hosier, who can name Hosier from a frame picture.
Do we want to have a bunch of different singers and say pick out Hosier, or do we just say hold up a picture and like who is this?
Who is this?
Okay.
They say Hosier, you're dialed.
Yeah, you get free candy.
Question number 1, speaking of candy.
If you were making a snack food bracket, what's your number 1 overall seed?
Yeah, we should probably get on this. I want to do a bracket this year. We'll get with promotions today, Bobby and friends. I'm going to go back to kind of what I alluded to the other day. I think it would be Smokehouse Almonds, Blue Diamond to be specific. I had some of those this weekend up in the mountains. It's a combination of they're not terrible. Listen, almonds are good for you. There's probably a little bit of a high sodium content in Smokehouse Almonds, but I can eat them forever.
They're really good.
They're really, really good. Kyle?
I think probably just like cheese and crackers. I think has to be a number 1 seed.
I agree with you, but it also takks prep.
No, it doesn't.
You don't have to cut the cheese. But seriously though, you don't have to cut the cheese.
No, if you do it right. You just have sliced cheese. You can buy it sliced.
Okay.
You pull the package of cheese out, you pull the crackers out, and you go to town.
Are you going to be driving around like, I'm hungry. Oh, here's some cheese and crackers in my passenger seat.
Why is it always driving with you?
I don't know. That's when I snack.
That's weird.
I snack in my Hoblet Ram. 1500 Laramie. Hammy. No hassle, no pressure, lots of snacks.
For me specifically, it's chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa. Jay, on the spot.
I said last time Goldfish, but I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I have to retract that and say Cool Ranch Doritos.
Really
just
fair.
Go to.
It's really fair.
I don't hate the pick at all. I think that's an interesting question in itself. We'll get to some other time. Are Cool Ranch Doritos even the best Dorito flavor?
Yes.
I think so.
They are.
Wow, both of you in unison.
Scientifically proven.
Nacho cheese is pretty good too.
Fire Wings Hotline, 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com, just wing it. Nacho cheese. Nacho cheese Doritos. How are you? Yeah, I was listening too.
Would have heard me say that.
Oh, you were watching on KHTK.com. Oh, okay.
Obnoxious.
I'll let them know. Nacho cheese Doritos checking in. Question 2.
They have any Marvin Bagley takes?
No, I put it back on hold.
No, okay. If you were making a non-alcoholic drink bracket, what's your number 1 overall seed? It can't be water.
Yeah, that's too easy.
So non-alcoholic and non-water.
Yeah, that's too easy. That's just too easy. By the way, if it was water, it'd be Fiji water for me. That's my favorite water.
Oh, I'm Dave. I can afford Fiji water.
No, I can't. But I'm saying the few times I've had a chance to taste it.
Wow, I'm Dave. I've
Fiji.
tasted Fiji water.
I would say iced tea, sweetened tea to be specific, and if you want me to be even more specific, probably Arizona green tea with ginseng. But sweet tea for me is probably my go-to not water, non-alcoholic drink.
It's coffee for me.
Oh, I didn't even think about coffee.
Specifically, I'm a big iced coffee guy.
Like even in the afternoon and stuff,
Yep.
like when you get home, you're drinking coffee?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
I don't typically drink it past like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Because then I have trouble going to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
I do a nice that like 3 p.m. cup of Joe.
Jay?
This might be in hot take territory, but I'm going to go there anyways. I'm a big root beer guy.
Nothing.
Fine.
There's
That's
literally
totally fine.
no. Last time you went hot take, you farted out your Final Fantasy takes all over the place.
You
and we're still
besmirched
cleaning it
the
up.
name of Final Fantasy.
That's not a hot. Root beer. In fact,
root beer is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't like it, though.
I
don't understand why.
There's trash root beer in existence.
Sure,
but
sure.
You go get like a kegged root beer. I'm in.
Here's the thing.
Or whatever container.
We're not going to have time for question 3, so we'll move that to 8:05. Which question 3 will be very fun to do. Jay, just so you know, one time
Damian Barling.
One time, what is Damian Barling the answer to? Find out at 8:05. One time I actually went as far as to call the headquarters of A&W Root Beer. This is about 12 years ago. And I told the story on the night show. because I believe that the greatest root beer in existence is A&W root beer from the tap.
Yes.
And
yes.
by tap, I mean
yes.
the Honey Bear that they had at the old stores.
Yes.
Okay. That is the greatest root beer in history. So I called and said, listen, can I purchase kegs of A&W root beer so that I may myself get my own Honey Bear and my own kegerator and have my own? And they said, no. The only way to purchase it is if you have an A&W franchise, to which, just for funsies, I went and found out how much it costs to start an A&W franchise. Not worth it, but I did that type of research. My point being, Jay,
it's delicious.
It is delicious. It's not a hot take. Root beer is a fine non-alcoholic beverage. Our third question, which we will get to at 8:05, if you were to make a Sacramento local sports media personality bracket, who's your number one overall seed? Kyle's already in with Damian Barber.
Damian.
All right.
It's my guy.
All right. So I got a guy, and by the way, please, no voting for yourself, Jay.
Damn it.
Okay. We'll take a break when we come back. Kings Bulls. We also have a Peckus Brothers from Friday in Philadelphia, and we'll get into a lot of that. Something the Kings did last night that they haven't done in well over a decade. And I also have some interesting stats for you, at least interesting to me as well. We're back in a moment. Sports 1140 KHTK.
It's The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
That game against Brooklyn. Ready for Hot Take Cannon?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me fade down Toto's Africa, which brings us in every morning at 7:30. Let me fade up the Hot Take Cannon. If the Kings beat the Nets, they're sweeping this homestand. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It's kind of lukewarm.
Okay. You're right. It's kind of a...
What's
like,
next? You like root beer?
It's like an 81-degree take. Brooklyn's the one that... Now, I probably just jinxed him. But Brooklyn's the one that actually really kind of freaks me out. Not freaks me out, but you get the point. They should sweep this homestand. And then everyone's... And the reason... Everybody remember, the reason they won by so many yesterday was... the coaching was finally good, and the players wanted it more.
Yeah, and Costa played.
And Costa played. Thank you.
Made a couple baskets too.
Yes, he did. Although there were a couple that were. My guy Costa.
It's not in the memo.
It's not in the memo. This isn't the memo.
Giles kicks it out. Corner three from Yogi Ferrell. He rims it out. Rebound, put back. Corey Brewer. That's a nice sequence right there for the Sacramento Kings to make it a 4-point game at 33-29. In fact, it was so nice, we're going to make it your Peckus Brothers moment of the game.
That is right. That was from the Philadelphia game. We want to make sure we get to that as well. I was, before we continue with that, I was watching, it was some music awards show over the weekend, Kyle, and it was really cool. Alicia Keys got up there. She won Best Innovator Award. I don't know if it was the American Music Awards or whatever it was. And, you know, I'm a huge Billie Eilish fan. And she was going over innovators, and she mentioned Post Malone and like four other, people that are innovating right now. Mm-hmm. And she said, I'm paraphrasing, but an artist that's really turning into the person I know she can be. I want her to be Billie Eilish. Mm-hmm. And they showed Billie Eilish reacting as she kind of freaked out, like, oh my God, Alicia Keys knows who I am. I looked behind Billie Eilish and I thought I recognized the people that were behind Billie. I was like, that can't be. And then I rewound it. Sure is, you know what?
No.
It's the Peckus Brothers. Yep, that's right. Peckus Brothers probably telling all the artists out there for all their patio and backyard needs, sunrooms, et cetera, all the great things Peckus Brothers has to offer. They have it ready for you. Go get yourself some Peckus Brothers today. Yeah, the Kings game yesterday was great. And, of course, Twitter was unusually quiet. Social media was unusually quiet, thank God. Because, as we've talked about many times, there's a loud minority of Kings fans out there that and I say Kings fans with air quotes, that pretty much only pop up when the team loses and blames everything. and then when they win, it's like, oh, well, it's the Bulls, they're terrible. Okay, well, at some point, I hope it gets through to those people. And I said those people that, yeah, I did, that sometimes you can try your best and have really good coaching and everything goes about as right as it can, and you lose because the other team's better. It happens. It happens in sports. Unbelievable. They lost to Philly, and you know what? They were in that Philly game for much of the time. It's like they were in it with Boston twice. Kings not really getting – really, the only teams to regularly handle the Kings this year have been the Rockets and the Clippers, even Milwaukee. I mean, Milwaukee destroyed them in Wisconsin, but then remember that was that overtime game here. It was nice to get. I can't say a wire-to-wire win because there was 4 or 5 lead changes I think in the first quarter, but the Kings just put their foot on the gas in the second and third, outscored the Bulls by damn near 30 points in those 2 quarters. And ran away from the victory. I was looking at some numbers, Kyle, and numbers are really sometimes difficult to do on the air. But
Who's the? Oh, it's John Mulaney. He goes, numbers, the letters of math.
That's very true, and that's where we're at right now. It is numbers on the radio.
Love numbers.
You know, before their win against the Bulls, this is how big of a blowout it was. Before their win against the Bulls, the Kings were minus 1.4 points in games versus their opponents the entire season. Through 68 games, they had been outscored by an average of 1.4 points per game. After yesterday's blowout, they dropped that to minus 0.9. They dropped a full half point.
Oh, my God.
A full half point from one game in their 69th game, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
Also, here's some plus-minus numbers for you. Kyle, would you like to explain to the crowd, because that's what they're going to ask, when I say something like real plus-minus, what am I talking about?
I don't know what real plus-minus is. You're going to have to explain that one.
Oh, Kyle, jeez.
Well, it's the opposite of fake plus-minus.
Thank you very much.
I didn't realize it was that simple.
All right, let me get the dictionary definition then. NBA real plus-minus. NBA real plus-minus is the average impact in terms of net point differential per 100 offensive and defensive possessions. What does that mean? For offensive real plus minus, that's the player's impact on his team's offensive performance by points scored. In other words, if you're plus 1.8, that means the team scores 1.8 more points with you on the floor than went off per 100 possessions. Why do they use 100 possessions? Because it's more accurate, because people don't play all game. They don't play all 48 minutes. Same thing with defensive real plus minus. And then real plus minus overall is the combined between the two, your offensive and defensive contributions. It's just another way of showing people the impact of a player, or perceived. Because I offer you this, Kyle. You're a big numbers guy. Did you see any of these tweets last night? I'll ask you in advance.
No.
The leader in real plus minus for the Sacramento Kings is also 34th in the entire league. This person is ahead of players such as Kawhi Leonard and Russell Westbrook. Who is this player?
I bet it's Marvin Bagley.
Marvin Bagley. Great guess. Not correct, though.
Buddy Hield.
Another great guess.
Harry Giles.
That's
right.
That is absolutely.
That's definitely
No, I'm sorry. It's wrong.
No, it's Harry Giles.
Jay?
Can I try?
Yeah, please.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
There you go. That is absolutely. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong.
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox is wrong. I'm glad we're doing this because
Bogdanovich. That's definitely wrong.
Let me also give you that.
Joe Klein.
By the way, this isn't.
Oh, it's Iman Shumpert, who's no longer on the Kings.
This is also something. This is why this is interesting, because I'm not like picking somebody like Frank Mason who has played 4 minutes a game.
Yogi Ferrell.
How many players are we at so far? Hold on.
I think the whole roster, Dave.
Bagley, Cauley-Stein,
Harrison
Hield,
Barnes.
Fox.
It's Barnes. It's
Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
We're at what? 7 players.
You said Bogey, right?
He said
I
Bogey.
said Bogdan.
We're at 7 or 8 players so far. And it's kind of funny because this player has started,
Nemanja
Bjelica is 34th in the NBA in real plus minus and leads the Sacramento Kings.
That's how you know it's a fake stat.
He is ahead of players such as Kawhi Leonard and Russell Westbrook.
Sure.
Again, we're just kind of putting it out there sometimes. Let's not kill
No,
Bielitsa
but
here.
you know what? This is one of those times where that number actually backs up like my perception of him, because it feels like every time he's in the game, good stuff happens. Like and you remember early in the year, like he was kind of carrying them a little bit offensively with this 3-point shooting,
especially coming out of the gate.
And I hate to say this because we drag this guy all the time, but Brad from King's Twitter, Real Brad G, I know it, but I have to give credit where it's due. If we're going to drag him, we have to give credit where it's due.
Why? But why do we have to do that?
Because he tweeted this, and
yeah, great. Brad stole some content from somebody and tweeted it. Awesome. What is it?
He said that does it feel like something along the lines of, does it feel like Bielitsa always has a positive impact when he's on the floor?
Also a guy who puts American cheese
in
his ramen.
Which just invalidates the whole thing. You know Brad, what? Bielitsa stinks.
Bielitsa, thank you. Shut up, Brad. World is a better place.
That very much is how it feels whenever he's on the court. Like, the Kings do good stuff.
This player leads the Kings in win shares. This player is 28th in the entire league.
Harrison Barnes.
He's ahead of Ben Simmons, Chris Paul, C.J. McCollum, and D'Angelo Russell.
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Giles. Nemanja Bjelica. What stat are we doing again? Win shares.
Win shares.
Win shares or win shares per 48?
Win shares. I don't know. It just says win shares. Don't overthink it.
Marvin Bagley. Buddy Hield. De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox leads the Kings in win shares and is 28th in the league. He is ahead of Ben Simmons, Chris Paul, C.J. McCollum, and D'Angelo Russell. This Sacramento King leads the team in defensive real plus minus at 39th in the league. He is ahead of DeMarcus Cousins, LeBron James, Jaren Jackson Jr., Nikola Jokic, and Dwayne Dedmon.
Harrison Barnes.
Is that just your default answer to all of them?
No, it's just Harrison Barnes been really good.
Jay?
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Willie Cauley-Stein leads the Kings in defensive real plus minus at 39th in the league, ahead of DeMarcus Cousins, LeBron James, Jaren Jackson Jr., Nikola Jokic. I bring up Dwayne Dedmon only because that's a name many Kings fans have floated as a cheaper option to Vucevic when it comes to signing big men this summer. And I'm not saying that to dissuade them.
Sure.
That's just why I included them.
It's also worth noting that DeMarcus Cousins and Jokic are not good defenders. Jokic is inactive.
Why don't you go write an article about it and publish it then?
It wasn't a shot.
It wasn't a shot. This person leads the Kings in offensive real plus minus at 49th in the NBA. I'm only giving you two guesses, and you probably shouldn't need them.
Offensive.
Buddy
Hield.
In fact, he and De'Aaron.
Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going. Buddy Hield leads the Kings in offensive real plus minus at 49th in the NBA. What I find incredibly interesting is that he and De'Aaron Fox are the only Kings in the top 80 for offensive real plus minus, despite the fact that the Kings are tied for 8th in the league in scoring, but they only have two guys in the top 80. One final stat. Don't forget, cold hard facts. Well, Kyle Madsen coming up at 8:35. I'm taking all his cold hard facts. On February 25th, not that long ago, I remember how old I was on February 25th.
Me too. I'm old enough to remember that.
On February 25th, I don't like it when you text me things in the middle of the show. It worries me. On February 25th, the Kings were 31-28. They had a chance going into Minnesota, as the Spurs lost to the Nets that evening, to pull within a half game of San Antonio. Since then, the Kings have gone 2-7. The Spurs are 8-0. The Spurs are the 6th seed. And there are just 3.5 games separating the Spurs from the 6th seed and the 3rd seed. How about that? In other words, the Spurs are on fire, and it's just quite amazing what an 8-game win streak. It's not even like a 14-game win streak or they've won 19-21. Yeah. They've won 8 in a row. And they've gone from being potentially a half game ahead of the Sacramento Kings and falling out of the playoffs And Greg Popovich has them absolutely peaking, and they are literally knocking on, well, I guess not literally knocking on the door, but they're knocking on the door of the 3 seed.
Can I tell you why this is your fault?
Yes, actually. As a matter of fact, hold on, please. I would like to know why this is my fault, Kyle. And while Kyle tells us that, remember, coming up in just about a month, a tradition unlike any other, the Masters. Kyle, why is it my fault that the San Antonio Spurs have won 8 in a row and the Kings were a half game potentially behind them, and now that's not going to happen? Why is that my fault, Kyle? Go.
Because they came back from their rodeo road trip 1-7. And they normally went like 7-1.
Yeah.
And
true.
You came on these airwaves and you were like, this is normally where they turn it on, and they didn't. So I think San Antonio's the team the Kings are chasing. Like they've fallen off. Like they normally kill it on this road trip. They went 1-7, and now it looks like they're starting to fade. Like, dude, they were dying. They just had to not breathe on it. You just had to not touch it.
Here's the thing. That is so lame and disingenuous of you. Because I think I've done a fairly good job at avoiding this. But you know what? Since you want to throw stones from your glass house, okay, here's Kyle about a month ago. Kings are a playoff team. I'm telling you, Kings are a playoff team.
Hang on. That's Dick Vitale. That's Dick Vitale, first of all.
Oh, that's Dick Vitale. The Kings are a playoff team. Hi, I'm Kyle. The Kings are a playoff team.
And that was not a month ago. I'm pretty upset that you would think that I got on board that train that late. I said that like in December.
You said that in December. Boy, that seems like that's early.
I was going to say, there's a video up on KHTK's YouTube page.
Would you mind? Is that easily accessible, Jay?
It is.
Okay, I'd like to know what date that, because December seems awful early.
If you go to our YouTube page, no, because it happened during the Harrison Barnes trade, so it definitely wasn't December.
Oh no! Okay, no. See, no, this is it. No, you don't. You take that back. Take back your O.
Oh.
Thank you. That was that was that video happened after the Harrison Barnes trade. But I also said, I'm going to search on Twitter right now because a bunch of Kings fans got mad because they lost the next game, and a bunch of people came at me like it was my fault.
It was. Warrior fan said Kings playoff team.
Now we're bringing Warrior fan into this.
Gloves are coming off, Kyle.
Wow.
Warrior fan came in and said, oh, look, it's cute.
Yeah, because I know. Because I know what a playoff team looks like. Unlike you.
Oh, wow! See, you hear that? Do you hear that, Sacramento?
It's just wrong.
Thank you, Jay. New favorite person on the show.
Really wrong, bro.
Thank you. Jay has redeemed himself. Jay hasn't so much redeemed himself from the Final Fantasy VII thing as Kyle has deemed himself, or whatever that means. I mean,
I would never deem myself on air.
Here's Kyle. Well, according to Kyle, here's Kyle in 2014.
Okay, here's in on December 17th of 2018. Justin Burr on Twitter, shout out Justin
Burr,
said, "Hey Dave, can we all agree that Kyle jinxed the Kings? He just had to come on the air this morning and say there's no way the Kings aren't a playoff team. Baby steps.
Yeah.
This loss has nothing to do with it being their 4th game in 5 nights."
And what happened, Kyle?
Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs.
What happened to the Kings after that, Kyle?
They're not going to make the playoffs.
Because you went, look at the Kings. Look at the Kings. They're so cute.
You're welcome for believing in your team.
And who was the guy that said he was waiting for the meteor to hit? Oh, wait, does he look like me? Oh, does he have a super long face and dumb features? Oh, it must be me.
No, it's not. Like, really? Really? That's what you're on this season is a meteor hitting for you? Wow. See, now you're that guy.
Were a
now
meteor.
You're that guy. And that was my whole point that day. Was even if they missed the playoffs, the meteor didn't hit this.
You guaranteed that they would be a playoff team. You said you'd sell your house. That was Buddy Hield. You guaranteed. Kings are currently 7 back of the Clippers.
Hang on. Let me put my Carmichael Dave hat on. They're not mathematically out of it.
Find the lie. Where is it? Where'd it go?
So does this mean, did you shave your dumb beard?
No, I saw the beard.
It looks shorter. You definitely trimmed it.
Yeah, I had to trim it.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was getting really tough.
Yeah, I looked like I can't say that on the air, but it was bad, dude. I don't have the beard hair that normal people have, where it's like what do they call a brush something mustache? You know, there's like beard hair. It looks like somebody shaved my chest and put a Lee press-on beard on my face.
I got the same problem. I feel you.
Thank you.
I just don't grow beards, so.
You have a beard right now.
Not up on the cheeks.
No, it's a chin strap.
Yeah, it's like a chin.
My beard is cheeks. And that's why I got to get rid of the cheeks, because the only gray hair on my body is on my face cheeks.
That's way too much.
What?
Hey, we're giving away Eric Church tickets today at 8:35.
Eric Church, he's gonna have concert some night. No? Okay. Oh, Hosier. That was Hosier. We did Hosier last week.
Eric Church tickets at 8:35. Set your alarms. We're not going to remind you. Call 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 to win a pair of tickets to see both days of the Eric Church Double Down Tour.
No, hey, for real, I heard about this. Like
when he comes,
he's doing 2 different shows on 2 different days. Apparently, they're 2 different, like not the same playlist.
That would be so funny if he just did the same.
Apparently, they're 2 different shows.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Both days of the Eric Church Double Down Tour when he comes to Golden One Center for his epic 2-night experience on November 22nd and 23rd. For tickets and more information, visit.
Did you almost have trouble pronouncing experience?
No.
Okay. From the Jiffy Lube multi-care text line at 441140, talking about jinxes or, quote, playoff commander. That's when I switched my Twitter account to playoff commander. That was like 2 weeks ago. From the 916, Fire Kyle. I don't think that had anything to do with the conversation.
Fire Wings.
Just wing it. From the 916, this is the type of support I love. I hate your show, Dave, but take comfort in knowing I'll never stop listening. That is the type of love.
Hang on, can you? I want to isolate that. Can you read that text again?
I hate your show, Dave, but take comfort in knowing I'll never stop listening.
It's perfect.
And cut. Never gonna let you go. All right, what else do we have here?
We have to head to Togo's for their original turkey and avocado with a large drink for just $5.95.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with turkey and avocado at Togo's. I eat at Togo's quite often. Let me just tell you, though, man, that Togo's pastrami, out of this world. It really is out of this world.
Really good.
Can I sandwiches?
Yeah.
Never sound good to me.
Mm.
Like, I'm never like, gosh, I want a sandwich. But as soon as I eat a sandwich, I'm like, why don't I eat these every day?
It's a fine thing to eat.
I've never eaten a sandwich and been like, man, I regret that I chose having a sandwich.
We only have a minute left in this break.
Mm-hmm.
About every weekend now, I head down to the old Winco, and I get when we do a grocery shopping, I get a big, long French or Italian loaf, right? One of the, those big loaves in the bag that they bake there.
Yeah.
And I bring it home, and I cut it across all the way, but not all the way through so that I can stretch it out, but it's still
turn it into
connected.
a hot dog bun.
Yeah, exactly. Great way to put it. Then I dig the bread, not all of it, but a
I
good
hate
portion.
this motion you're making.
I dig the bread out of both the top and bottom sides, so I create like 2 moats. And this is
Scott moats.
This is what, yes. And now, sandwich. What I do then, I take those plastic spatulas, mayo, mustard, pepper, lots of black pepper.
Did you mean rubber spatula?
What'd I say?
Plastic?
Either one. It's a plastic rubber spatula. Pepper, celery salt. That's one of my secret ingredients, celery salt. And then I lay it out, dude. Cheese, tomato. I put the avocado in first so it stays in the moat, doesn't fall out, right?
Sure.
And then whatever, last week I think we did like peppered turkey and ham, and it just pile it high. Have you ever seen the giardiniera in the jars at the
No.
Yeah, it's the pickled carrots and cauliflower and little onions and green peppers and pimentos. And I chop those up and put those on instead of pickles. Anyways, I put the whole thing together. It's this giant, I think some people call it a Dagwood. It's a giant sandwich. Here's why I'm saying this. It's the one piece of good advice I'm going to give everybody today. Okay? When you do this, and you should do this, take some saran wrap, lay it out the length of the sandwich, lay out 2 layers, put the sandwich in the middle, wrap the sandwich as tight as you can in the plastic wrap, and then take the ends and kind of spin the sandwich around and put it in the fridge for a half an hour. You know how some people, they barbecue and they don't let their meat rest, and that's how the meat runs all over the place?
I always let my meat rest.
Yeah, thank you. You got to let your sandwich rest. And you slice it up. That's what I do. I slice it up for
You
the whole
got set
family.
load management.
Hey, Dave.
Yep.
You realize that last 2 minutes is why Sam Amick tells people you have a cushy poker player body, right?
It's a dynamite point by Jay.
You know what? Give me cushy or give me death. I will take cushy, okay? I will eat. I'd rather go through life as a cushy poker player, eating most of what I want, than eating whatever Damien eats, the fruit and berries and the twigs and the rabbit food. That's what I call it. Yeah.
Stupid kale.
So what if he's going to outlive me for 20 years? I'm living my best life eating sandwiches, damn it. We'll take a break. That's what I tell myself at night, just to justify it. When we come back, let's do some brackets. And we'll give you the third bracket question we gave you in Threefer Madness, but we didn't have time to. What would your number one seed be for a Sacramento sports personality bracket? Who's your number one seed? Kyle already said his. Is Damian Barling speaking?
I think I might change my answer.
Oh, wow. Hope Damian's not listening.
We'll see.
We'll see when we get back. Sports 1140 KHTK.